book release for Reggie's Ecology of the Hood. Thank you. Oh, I left my phone on. Could you take my phone? I'm so sorry about that. Tonight, we're going to be hearing from a selection of curated artists by our beloved author, Reggie. We're going to invite a few folks up here to read some poems out loud for y'all and everything. So if y'all enjoy anything, you're free to clap along and everything. And there's also copies of the book in the back over there. They're waiting to you right now. So if you guys want to grab a copy of Reggie's new book, Ecology of the Hood, they're over there, ready to be purchased from. And yeah, cool. How much is it, Reggie? It's $12.
Only $12.
You can't afford not to buy it. Exactly. So feel free to go grab a copy for yourself back there. Reggie will gladly sign the copies for you too as well. But let's just get started with these poets here. I have a bio for you guys. Jazz Sufi is our first poet coming up to the stage. Jazz Sufi, she, her pronouns, is a queer Iranian-American poet and arts educator. She is a National Poetry Slam finalist and the former executive director of the Berkeley Slam, the longest-running poetry slam on the West Coast. She has toured internationally from Berlin and London to performing alongside the Townsend Opera. Her work has been published on the Best New Poets, Best of the Net, Agni, Black Warrior Review, Muzzle, and elsewhere, and her debut chapbook, Catalog of Shadows, is forthcoming from Game Over Books. She has received fellowships from Kodiman, The Watering Hole, and the New York University, where she received her MFA as a Gold Water Fellow. She is taught in K-12 and college classrooms across the country, and works as a teaching artist and project director with Bay Area Creative. She's the current poet laureate of San Ramon, give it up for that.
Give it up for San Ramon.
Give it up for San Ramon.
No.
Where she lives with her dog, Apollo. Everyone, please show some love to Jazz Sufi.
Never give it up for San Ramon. With that said, my first poem is about taking a tweet way too seriously. So I will begin, in case you don't remember the tweet, with the tweet. If you're on here arguing the definition of assault weapon today, you are part of the problem. You know what an assault weapon is, and you know you don't need one. To which user Willie McNabb responded, legit question for rural Americans. How do I kill the 30 to 50 feral hogs that run into my yard within 3 to 5 minutes while my small kids play? This poem is titled Poem in the Voice of 30 to 50 Feral Hogs. We tusky bitches, we a leatherbacked legion, you bacon-wrapped and soft-toothed, all those locks and walls and no hooves. We so wretched, we wreck your rhyme scheme. Go grunt instead of oink, growl and snarl, even our squeal too sharp when shot. Can't you just Christmas ham, you ask, fit inside my sandwich? Wake up and find your flower beds butchered by our mercy. We meal makers, we find flavor in any mouthful. Your small kids, seasoning themselves in the sandbox, looking at each other instead of movement, licking the lips of your yard. Your gun more their daddy than their daddy. Can't even forage your own fear. Hand-me-down hung up dusty on the mantle. Dust what we disturb just by breathing. Our breathing keeping up your kids, your small kids. Pink and hairless, tremor and tender, invasive, insatiable. Your kids in danger, our kids in danger. Our kids hungry for your kids' dinner. How young is too young to die? You kill our kids but won't even eat the meat. Scream it sours the stomach. Leave their small shadows to stain your lawn. We mourn meal. We make mourn. We blue ribbon of a broken fence, a failed farm, some boat that never knew better than to bring us in its fat bottom belly. You wail feral like we stepped out of our lane. You tame and still untrained, we evolutionary, and you in our way. Do our numbers scare you? Millions of targets that won't run when you shoot? You can't even count how many directions we're coming from. Call us a sounder, something louder. Call our killing a culling. Try to hunt us. We eat bullets like you. I'm not going to give a whole spiel this time because I did at the last show and Reggie knows how much I love them. I would just like to say, I love Reggie Edmonds-Vásquez Edmonds. Or Edmonds-Vásquez, I forget the order. Either way, I love this person. I'm so glad to be here to celebrate their poetry with y'all today. So I'm going to read this last poem. It's called Ode to My Lover's Sequined Dress. And the matching blazer too. All of those sequins flirting with the light, like every one of them is trying to fall in love tonight. They are new and eager and trembling against their stitches, much like how my breath flutters and forgets itself every time I see you across the room, every time. It looked so lifeless on its hanger, still until its first sharp gasp as I dragged its zipper up your spine like a tongue. And yes, I'm not ashamed to admit I counted each sequin as I did so, eager, exulting. The neckline, dripping so far down I dropped to my knees so my mouth might catch its kaleidoscopic splatter. Still though, I thought first of the body below, sweetened curve of shoulder and the hip sugared when I craved salt. I imagined lifting the gold necklace like a veil to taste what trace of metal might remain. What is beauty, I thought, if not what my lover bears to me in the dark? What lies shadowed beneath my lover's shadow? How wrong I was. Hours later, I see you across the room, peacock flocked by other brilliant birds. Constellations orbit around you and my pulse forgets its place. The flowers on my own dress straining towards your sun. You laugh and the champagne shivers in every glass. Everyone loves you here. All of our hearts standing in ovation, our eyes gilded with honey from its comb. How lucky we are to see your dress's debut. A coronation, a crown too tender to be gold. At first, I saw each sequin as a mirror reflecting, but now I know them all to be prisms refracting you and your infinite wonder, your spectrum of limitless love, streaming out and striking like lightning gentled by your touch. What is beauty? This is it, I think. Everything, everything, all. The dress, the matching blazer, and how they summon you to the surface. All yourself, and in this moment, most yourself. Your release and return. Loved, beloved, comet speeding toward an open-armed crowd. Gold dust shed from a fruit-skinned star. A gift, a gifting, a blossom forge. Petals and pleasure cracking the anvil, open like a window and broken like a fever. My lover, you. Every mode of glitter stands before me in a gown. Each breath I take is drawn like water from your well. Here, let me give as I have been given to. Later, I'll unclench the zipper's teeth as I tug it down your back. But for now, let me just sip at your shimmer. Let it split me open from the inside out. Thank you guys so much.
Show some love one more time for Jazz Sufi, everybody. Thank you so much, Jazz. Let's keep the show going. Our next poet on stage is Nazelah Jamison. Yeah, she's not. Nazelah Jamison is a gifted author, performance poet, MC, comedian, and vocalist who has learned from and graced the stage with some of the finest people in entertainment today. She's a current Janice Merikitani poet, theologian in residence at Glide Memorial Church in San Francisco. Nazelah has competed and/or coached 12 national poetry slam teams. And has performed poetry and music across 3 continents until she retired in 2014. She hosted and co-produced the Oakland Poetry Slam Open Mic, an ongoing monthly poetry slam in Oakland, California, as well as performing in venues around the San Francisco Bay Area and the country. She has collaborated on music recording projects with the Grande brothers and is embarking upon a career as a stand-up comedian. Her first collection of poetry was Evolutionary Heart, Nomadic Press in 2016, and her work appears in several other publications, including The Town, an anthology of Oakland poets, Nomadic Press, 2023. Nazelah is well known and beloved for her work with Spearhead and the French music group, Les Nubians, and her love of hip-hop translates onto the stage. Everyone please show some love to Nazelah!
Good afternoon. You know I love you. I already said some shit to you. I ain't saying it again. You heard it all. So here's 2 poems. Another black boy went missing, then killed today. The white people calmly wait for all the facts. The black mothers are dysregulated. The black children are terrified. The black community is outraged. There is an American history to reference of people's black children not making it home. There is generational trauma of being betrayed by friendly faces, of putting misguided trust in the hands of people with similar characteristics. We have theories, but some people are not talking. The white friends remain protected and silent. The black mother screams inside of a box of dignity. They say, wait for the investigation. They may mean, wait for all the facts. They may mean, wait for the rest of the stories. They may mean, wait until the people have forgotten. We do not trust that the whole truth will come out. We do not trust that justice will ever be served. We expect privilege to always be served, unless it looks better being thrown under a bus. The white friends left the black boy on an island, calmly returned with all his belongings, were immediately hidden behind a wall of privileged privacy. The black boy left his life on the island, was lifelessly returned in shorts and sunglasses, was immediately taken to an autopsy room for further evaluation. What do we do with the leftover suspicion, not stale or lingering from decades of suspension, but fresh mistrust, just out of the oven, still warm from last week and or yesterday? The sheriff says the black boy chose to stay on the island with no means of communication or transportation home. The white people say, friends abandon each other all the time. We don't know the whole story. Racism is dead. The black people say, here we go again. Same shit, different day. America continues to meet our expectations. The black boy says, nothing. He has lost the ability to express himself. The racism says, reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. This poem is called Man of War. We do not love him, this pseudo-dictator, this cheap empty wine bottle wrapped in barbed wire, this reanimated battered equine nightmare, this sentient detached fist. He haunts us incessantly, hides behind our shoulders and tired temples, seeps into our relationships and unrelated conversations, lives in the spaces between our paychecks and inside our deepest anxieties, and just beneath the daily joys. We need you to know, we do not love this erasure of history and dignity, this caricature of American success, this celebrated and blatant oppression. His projected light is a sickly yellow. The water he begrudgingly pours is a poisonous green trickle. A percentage of us have drunk from his noxious puddle. These are the zombies among us, shambling aimlessly toward their own ruin, voraciously devouring their own humanity, impervious to empathy. They do belong to us, as reluctant as we are to admit it. They may be forever lost. We can never ignore their absence. But this orange atom bomb who calls himself a man, this utterly spiritually bankrupt disgrace who crowns himself a king, this naked emperor who refuses to release this mortal coil, him we do not love and will rejoice as we forget someday that he ever existed at all.
Thank you, Nazelah. Just a love one more time for Nazelah, everybody. Thank you. Moving on to the next performer. Kevin Prophet Wright is a poet, MC, teaching artist, community organizer, activist, and from Richmond, California native. It was shared stages with Angela Davis, Grammy Award-winning poet Jay Ivy, Yasin Bey, then known as Mos Def, and Jay Electronica, Boots Riley of The Coup, and freestyle rap legend MC Supernatural. Y'all just know a lot of people, that's really crazy. He's performed his poetry from the Bowery Poetry Club and New Eureka Poetry Slam in New York to Lafayette Park outside of the White House and various places in between. He was a member of the 2016 Oakland Poetry Slam team and was an organizer of the 2008 Brave New Voices International Youth Poetry Festival that was filmed by HBO and released in 2009. Between late 2006 and early 2008, he was also one of the founding Youth Advisory Council members that helped plan for what would eventually become the Rise Center in Richmond, California. Additionally, he was the longest tenured teaching artist for the Bay Area Creative and is a committee member of the Director of Security for Rich Oak Events, the organizing body of Berkeley Poetry Slam, the Oakland Poetry Slam, and the open mic started by fellow Richmond natives that is based in Oakland called Rich Oak Alchemy. Everyone please give a warm welcome to Prophet!
I feel rusty every time I perform, but at Reggie's previous show, I wasn't thinking and I didn't give a little spiel, so I'm gonna give a quick one now. I met Reggie, I ain't gonna tell their business, but I will say they were in high school and the first day I met them was unforgettable in so many ways, but I'll say this, I knew in that moment that this young person was gonna fight for what they believe in.
I was gonna fight.
So if you know the story or want to ask them about it, feel free. But since that moment, to see their growth and progression as a person and as an artist and as an organizer, an activist, a fundraiser, a beautiful human being that even though they'll say that I was their former mentor, I will say that the person that they are now, I look up to them now. Just because they have done so much for so many. I'm grateful to have them a part of my life. Just because it's a really awesome individual. And where I'm from, we need more people like that in the world. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into my poems now that I got all the mushy shit out the way. Just know I love you, sibling. This first poem is about my grandmother. Hopefully you like it. I might have pulled up a different version than the one I previously submitted, so I apologize, y'all. Dear Grandmama, thank you. When your Louisiana tears cross rivers to get close to God, those same backwood bayous that buoyed my great-grandpa, the Grand Dragon, clans of Satan to birth nations that rule the world. Kipling called it white man's burden, but I call it black man's plight. The night goes erupt and sirens calling the lost. My grandmama sits with my heart and warmth in the hills of Richmond. Not a California soul, her tongue is wrapped in Bible verses. Her home is a winding, windy, echoing country road, and love is an old, dusty vinyl song of souls saved down by the riverside. Her calloused hands broke oceans of dirt to mold boys into men, because cotton blisters scorched fingertips and southern heat. Whites are the light of hell's embers, where darkness ain't always a virtue, even amongst pulchritudinous mahogany melanin. Uncle Sil told me that sometimes the dark brown shades of our skin only add color to our tears. So our pain paints the blues of blacks that soar north or west to be free. She moved mountains from a molehill to find flight and clipped wings. My grandmama taught me that when the deck is stacked against you, the royal flush don't fold. So shoot the cards devoid of hearts that bleed you dry. Addie Mae traversed the swamps that sink the spirit and went to golden coasts that gave her hope. The gates the bay was built to bridge were made of steel. Forced in the exploitation of the oppressed, but for the single mother of 10, no wonder it felt like home. This lily from Union Parish could never wilt in the blaze of 1,000 sunny nights. So when the sky is in the drought, her wisdom reigns through the roots by the road on the hill from a tongue made of soup. See, I was told the toll of black achievement of old, given grade school history books that never said who or what we were before slavery, or that in this country, freedom always comes with an asterisk, like handcuffs in the shape of infinity. You taught me to wade the waters of tyranny and love without fear, so I'm here to say thank you for all that you are. Thank you. This one is going to be off the dome, yeah, it's going to be fun to see if I get through it. I ain't been smoking. I decided to take a puff outside. And now, like I'm seeing shit that I know isn't there, so this is gonna be great. I'm kidding. The gentrification of Richmond's impatiently waiting to get us debating our place in it. Facing eviction from baseless and racist intentions, replacing the tenants through rates so ridiculous. Haiti's outrageously plaintiff expenses or vacants the fate of the place where you stay. We split with no wages or representation to give us a way to live in the bay. Prayers for those who believe it. Not on these streets where the heathens are bleeding, deceit from a beef that precedes them, policing that beats them till weakness is weeded and all hope is fleeting. My city has pride with a purpose. It's highly deserted. From nightly disturbance, nobody to service. Our lives have been worthless because violence is surging. We die or survive in the gutter with shit.
You got it.
Fuck. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my handy dandy notes. We die or survive in the gutter. Fuck. There we go. As you can tell, I haven't performed in a while. I'm doing so good, not showing my rest.
You're still so good.
We die or survive in the gutter with urgency. Hustling for currency earned these daily is crazy. The same hood that loved me and made me can hate me, and one day might murder me. And first degree certainly, I've suffered through the toughest of trouble. Maladjusted youth, I've seen fiends with scuffed up shoes, pumping fumes of drugs and booze, but hard times and struggle got a funny way of humbling you. When the crime rate weighed one time on parade, then he threw all the blocks you was raised in. Gotta find your way, cause they lying in wait. The can on this grindstone pavement. Never let them take your mind and keep your heart light. Through all of the fire and dark nights, though the ghetto's a hell of a hard life, and nobody acknowledges our plight on corners for niggas that turn into savages. So to form by significant poverty's damages, look at the images. Cities are ravaged through feds, and sickness and distance, they bust when they capture you. The road to survival is a hassle that tackles you. So we find hope in religious figures that shackle you. Revolution is imminent, struggle in bundles. Fighting death and imprisonment, walk through the jungle. Revolution is imminent, struggle in bundles. Fighting death and imprisonment, walk through the jungle. See, I come from a slum that was almost defeated. The wicked I've witnessed, you hardly believe it. A cycle where death is more constant than rain. By the way, shout to spray, the Lord's coming today. Why did the bank take my house away? I worked 3 jobs to stay, but rent high in the bay. My fam full of pimps, pushers and preachers, hustlers out grinding, panthers and teachers. You working so hard, the clock hands are bleeding. Had hella friends, but so few called me when needed. Was homeless, I struggled alone in the jungle. Roaming the stone when most others would crumble. I rose to be humble, my throne is the rubble. My home is with those that chose to be troubled. Holding me up, I owe them eternally much. I know I can trust. For sure, I was raised on blocks hot with game. Seen blacks cocked and aimed. Body shot and left dropped in flames. Through a nocturnal train, bloodstained tears, cops and chains. Somebody is discarding charring remains. Felonious months, holding a pump. My community's molding to dust. It's hopeless as fuck, cause most of us stuck in most potent ruts. Tell me why my whole block is writhing in pain. It's not gonna change. My cousin was shot in the brain. 3 years later, my brother psychotically slain. A block from my cousin insane. It's just the logic of fate. Justice does not come and play, and it never did, not to this day. My mama ain't safe. I'm psychologically scathed. How do I plot an escape from these corners where innocents turned into savages? Thank you.
Keep that love going for Prophet, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. Our next poet was actually supposed to go before, but I messed up. That was on me. Sorry about that. Our next poet is Papi Grande, pronouns he, him, prince, is an Oakland-raised spoken word artist, educator, and publisher author known as a dynamic stage presence and emotionally resonant storyteller. His work explores identity, community, and personal evolution, creating powerful connections with the audience and students alike. A champion at the Berkeley Poetry Slam. He has performed at 500 plus stages nationwide and placed 3rd at Bigfoot Regional Poetry Slam in 2023. He is the author of Theme of Identity, which sold over 700 copies independently. Everyone please show some love to Papi Grande! Also, earlier, when Jazz came up and said Reggie's name, I was like, Reggie's initials are Rev. So if we clapped up for Rev. Yes. Last comment. Thank you, Reggie. I would be thinking, I said to Reggie before, I was like, dang, without Reggie, I probably wouldn't be where I was. Reggie was like, you probably would, but I'm like, I don't know, I don't think I would. And I think it was not only like the competition, but the mentorship and just being there when I had questions and I was looking for answers and giving me those answers and helping me discover it about myself. So thank you for being yourself. A or B? Okay. A body hits the floor and no one says a thing. No tears drop or another heart malfunctioning. Malnourishment is the constant status of mankind's plate. Process. Can this even be called sustenance? Nature traded for bullshit. Sweet ass candy, rappers, occupations we can't use. We need more plumbers. Now that our arteries are closer to the drain pipe than transportation for living vessels, the floodgates have opened and we are all dying. How many massacres ask to be forgiven when no one is ever upset? This was set up for us to become numb to the names the body sent away. The other day, a black boy, a mirror of myself, reminded me how upset I should be. His best friend passed away tragically, forever put to sleep with Pop. No pops. He told me, niggas die every day, B. 4 words, covering him like Bible scripture laid overhead to keep the scary monsters away, but the scariest monster that never leaves is named reality. But when does your best friend become just another nigga? Well, first, his body hit the floor. I scratched and scraped, searching for a piece of life right in front of me. I remember the last time, like the first time, my chest contracts. Heart autopilot's the lowest function set to survive. 5 fingers of both hands extend. My mind races, skin struggles with expectations, and every electrical impulse malfunctions, and I can barely move myself. Even the birds know. This is not a time for chirping. And it's dead silence. He's just another nigga statistic. They taught boys not to feel and they counted dead bodies for data. No tears fall from my face because no magic brought Lazarus back to us. A brittle torso collapses. Ribs contained like a lifetime supply of anesthesia was too much. Heart knocking instead of beating, asking, are you there? Asking if you remember. Your inner child, trapped in your left ventricle, supplicates as your heart retreats into numbness. We told ourselves we don't need to feel this. Love leaves faster than it arrives. I'm done with it before it comes. We call a lifetime desensitized in the midst of tragedy, staying strong. Just like a boy turned man too quick is supposed to. But as I stare at the spinning image of the mirror, a heart broken from the abuse of the world, the abuse building up in this little boy, my tears finally flow for what we go through. Poem. Okay. Can you raise your hand if you're from San Francisco? Oh. Can you raise your hands if you're from Oakland? Oh. Can you raise your hands if you're from the Bay? Oh. Can you raise your hands if you stay in the Bay? Ooh. Clap it up for everybody out here. Because you came to support. I'm here supporting. I need some support. Y'all ready to support me too? Okay. Don't worry. It's not a sales pitch. I'm not gonna ask you about my book. Not at all. Nope. Okay. So, I need help with this poem. It's very simple. I just need you to have a little bit of rhythm. Y'all got that? Y'all got that? Okay, cool. So when I say A, I need you to say, in the place that I live, A. In the place that I live, A.
In the place that I live.
Library. Good job. By the end of this, you will forget, where are you from? Oakland. And before you make that face that I know so well, I want to let you know that my life has not been a living hell. Oh! So you live in a good neighborhood? Nah. I live in the hood. I'm from East Oakland. A. A. They stole a Ring camera off my door. Didn't even make a sound. There was no motion to take it because niggas in the hood move faster than the wind, but nigga. In the A.
In the place that I live.
A.
In the place that I live.
Our poetic inspiration was a mix of Tupac and Biggie. In 7 days, my theory was to get money against all odds with the niggas. Picture me rolling or not. Biggest inspiration was my mom pushing me to keep my grades up, and it's crazy. The wood traps it up for us as kids. No substance at home, just substances at home. It went a little something like, steal some M&M's from the stove, label us criminals, 16s trying as adults, and been fearing us is dangerous, but hey. I'm speaking for my people going through it on a daily basis. When it seems like the world is full of cold places, keep your head up. Who cares what they say, cuz you can do it and the man will put you through it. But we shall proceed, providing what we need in the birthplace of the Black Panthers. Although they are converting Oakland to Frisco Hood Jr. Hey, they destroyed memories and monuments, replacing with street signs. The town's in decline in due time. Hey! Hey! I don't want to hear that. It was just the other day. I was drinking orange freezes in the bakery at the lake, driving down 2 ways and now I'm placed with a bike lane. I feel like I moved far away. I guess nothing ever stays the same. When the hard R is riding around the way, gentrifiers, how much more can you take? The culture was so lovely, yay, area. This is what gentrification tastes like. I don't know about you, but they could have kept the avocado toast. See, they still call it Oakland. But I want to see the town I grew up in. Nowadays, that's the real Black dream. On vacation, a white man with a tick asked me, "Where are you from?" "Oakland." He said, okay, yeah. Y'all losing your Raiders, your Warriors, your baseball team. We're losing a lot more than that. Our culture. A man asked me where I'm from. I forgot all the negativity. I'm from Oakland. Hey, we still thrive. Poem. I just want to say, shout out to all the poets who came on stage. Shout out to all the poets who are not on the stage. Shout out to all the people who came out here. Give it up for Rev one more time. Yes. And thank you, Jemiah and Shanice. I appreciate y'all. Yes. Appreciate them as well. They take donations.
Give it up for that headache. I mean, PG. Give it up for PG. Please show some love. I have the honor of saying I am coaching that poet. Yeah, that's an honor I can say about that. Oh, cool. There's just one more poet before our main attraction, everybody. Reggie. But before we do that, I am going to spit a poem for you guys as well. Yeah, that's okay with y'all. No, I'm okay. Appreciate you. A golden shovel on language. What is a body in pain but a prayer? What are our hands but our traumas, palms open, asking and asking? Maria Bolaños. Language eludes me when I speak of what my ancestors used to be. Something is disconnected and split open for a wound to fester and proliferate the rot in the body, and so the mouth learns to shape its sounds in betrayal and traitor, just to avoid the pain. Tongues carry memory too, but our enemies know that and weaponize a God who says, "My petitions and prayers are spoken in reverse. Whatever mouths sought forgiveness from you are the ones I do not trust. Whatever sins our souls carry, I would unpalm my hands to hear my ancestors and now what, but in a voice more akin to mine, that their names, our names are remembered over our list of traumas. Only willing wide hands open themselves to sin, blistering, asking in a tongue that despises them and despising the asking." That's it for me. Honestly, I just kind of want to keep the show rolling and everything. As much as that's it. No, No, the ASL interpreters did not get my poems ahead of time, so I'm not going to put them through the punishment of... No. We're moving on with the show, because we have the headliner is right here. So everyone, please show some love for our feature for tonight, Reggie Edmonds-Vásquez. They, them pronouns is a poet, educator, cultural curator from Richmond, California, and also my spouse. Their work explores Black, queer, and gender diverse identities and has earned recognition from Nomadic Press, the Afro Urban Society, and the Museum of African Diaspora here in San Francisco. A three-time Berkeley Grand Champion and national finalist. They direct programming at Richmond events. The debut Chapbook Ecology of the Hood is purchased here in the back over there for $12 and was selected as the 2025 Start A Riot Chapbook Prize. Everyone please show some love to your feature of the night, Reggie Edmonds-Vásquez!
Hi everyone. Hi. Thank you so much for being here to celebrate this chapbook. I want to give a backstory on where this comes from. So I think it was like 2017. I was at an environmental equity summit, and so it was a conference that was supposed to talk about how communities of color are impacted by the environmental crises that we are facing at the hands of our own hands. And the executive director of Greenpeace, I'm gonna talk shit. The executive director of Greenpeace got on that fucking stage and asked the question verbatim, how do we get Black folks to care about polar bears? And the first thing that I thought was, how do we get white environmentalists to care about Chevron? And being from Richmond, environmentalism, the air, the water, in urban settings has always been more important to me than wildlife on the other side of the planet. Like, it's important, but we always neglect the people, and we always neglect the land that the most vulnerable people are sitting on. And also just growing up in the hood is rough. So that's where this is coming from. I have a few poems for y'all. If you have the book, you can open up to page 1. I'll start off with the first poem in the book. It's called When the Trees Bore Fruit. And everything about this poem is a true fucking story. And it says a lot about me because I haven't changed too much. When the trees bore fruit, we would roll crab apples and unripe oranges under passing cars and dare them niggas to say anything. We would puff up our 12-year-old chests and pretend to be men until we were chased off by bigger, manlier men. In our own boredom, we turned on each other, berries becoming weapons until we were all covered in sticky laughter. I threw a pear at Ricky's head and watched it burst against his skull in the summer heat. He threw hands next, and then we wondered if the stains on our shirt were really plum juice. When his father found us, rolling in the dirt, beating pulp from pith, he screamed, "Are y'all fucking crazy?" And we laughed until the peach tree sun went down and our mothers called us home to wash the blood off of our hands before dinner. So I am from Richmond, but my family is only one generation removed from the South, which means my family is country as fuck. So I grew up doing shit that other city kids didn't grow up doing, like camping and fishing and hunting and shit like that. And so this is a story about my grandmother and learning how to fish with her. It's called Whiskey Slough. It's on page 6 if you'd like to turn to that page in your Bible. Everybody knew Holland Tract was the best place to fish for bluegill, except for my grandmother. She swore up and down that Whiskey Slough was better. She knew the hot summer sun didn't have no trees to stop it from burning the hair off your neck, and that's why the white folks ignored the no fishing signs hidden beneath the leaves further down the delta. But up here, the fish didn't know the hook, only the worm and the promise of a satiated hunger. She gutted her first catch right there on the riverbank, showed me how to open up the belly with a sharp knife and so little pressure that the veins wouldn't know to bleed until a clot had already formed where the incision was made. The entrails scraped out and examined to make sure there was nothing growing in there. "Watch them spines," she would say, as she grasped my first fish in her hands with a practiced precision, its mouth opening and closing in a silent gasp for breath. A fish out of water is a meal. I know this because I have always been the one hungry. My grandmother did not know the hook until she found cancer at the end of her promise. Her lungs metastasized into gills, a death sentence for those of us trapped on dry land. This is where we return to, the hunger at the end of everything, gasping for breath as we are gutted and devoured by the insatiable. I did not know how ravenous a coffin could be until it turned her into a meal. When the ground swallowed her body, the worms had the last laugh. When the doctors filleted her stomach open, she was more tumor than fish. It's gonna get sadder, and then it's gonna get angry, and then it's going to get. So I had this really. So anybody who's gay got bullied in middle school. Like that's not even. That's just a given. And so I had this really weird experience a few years ago, where my middle school bully. Made the evening news for being murdered in a hate crime. And his partner was interviewed, and his partner was somebody that I had made out with outside of a poetry slam like 2 or 3 years before they had dated, which was like, really fucked me up for a little bit. So this poem is called My Bully Was Murdered for Being Gay. Darling, can I call you darling? Baby, anything but dead. How much of your anger was a closet? How much of my freedom was both threatening and exciting? I see your face in the snarl of a faggot, in the silence of my mother's disappointment, our mother's disappointment, because we are brothers, aren't we? I understand us now. There is safety in the cage as much as there is shame. Behind domestication is a hand that feeds and preens and protects as long as you never spread your wings to fly. Outside, we are hunted birds, queer prey in the same locker rooms and playgrounds we fought on. In another life, we could have been friends. In another, lovers. In this one, I kissed the boy who would later kiss you into a better version of the one I see in my nightmares. When he says your name on the evening news, I swear I hear my own. So I'm from Richmond, but I live in Oakland. And one of my favorite things to do is to sit by Lake Merritt and smoke weed and make up stories about the people that are at Lake Merritt. And it's usually just different ways to call the white people in Oakland racist. And so this is one of the poems that sprang up from that. It's called Pest Species. It's on page 14. A flock of Canada geese paddle Lake Merritt honking at each other, hunting for the few fish that survived the last ecological disaster. The seagulls squawk and screech, squabbling over clamshells and food scraps dragged from overflowing trash cans. Old heads smoke on the banks and talk shit. The lake done gone to shit since they started dumping shit in it. Might as well piss in it since it smells like a toilet. This city has dumped worse things in better places. Bodies pop up in front of schools, churches, homes, before public parks, and tourist attractions. You could drop dead in front of City Hall and the mayor will step over your corpse to argue against the cost of And what do the geese do but honk in his obscenities and niggas just trying to take the scenic route to work? I'm not saying the birds are white supremacists. But who leaves more shit around the lake while the homeless are deemed an environmental crisis instead of proof of a crisis? Birds have more of a right to migrate than people do. Birds have sanctuaries while the most vulnerable of us sleep on concrete beds and shop at the trash can grocery stores found in food deserts and black neighborhoods. The fish are not racist. But when the lake went belly up that summer, it was more newsworthy than the black children that went missing in the same August heat. I always notice who is noticed. I remember who is ignored. I see what parts of the city are kept clean. The pH balance of the lake is more important than the lead in the water supply. Panem exercenses, except the bread has gone to the bird. And the only entertaining thing to do around here is die, and then be blamed for the inconvenience of your corpse. Clean up the lake before we clean up city council, the school board, the police force. Save the fish before city infrastructure, or the libraries, or housing you promised would be affordable. Tell the old heads, comb your hair and smile. Put the blunt out. Show the investors your good side. Show them there are treasures inside some of these oysters. So when they crack this city wide open, they can pretend they own the pearls inside. So as my bio says, I did the Poet in Residence Fellowship at the Museum of African Diaspora 2024-2025. And part of it was writing poems based on the exhibit there, and they had a multimedia exhibit that was just a Hutu traditional funeral procession honoring a local poet in the streets of San Francisco. And they were singing a Negro spiritual, and the line that kept repeating in my head after watching that was, "Don't let nobody turn you around." And so this poem is called Funeral Procession. There is a road we must walk, down to the cemetery, down to the grave, down to the earth, barefoot and free. Walk with grief, with joy, with mother, father. Carry water with you. Make mud in your footprints. If the wind speaks, join it in song. The end to every path leads back to ritual, to Mother Earth, to Father Time. Every dead name spoken leads back to your mouth. The voice is a libation. Don't let nobody turn you around. We are speaking spirits into form, back into body, back into ourselves. Our grandmother's songs river on our lips, ancestral names thrumming in our chests. Let us walk down to the cemetery, down to where we too will soon lay. We are softening the ground for burial. May the dirt carry me gently. May my people carry me gently when I go. no sleep. And
me snoring in the back.
yeah, and this poem called Roaches came about when I was just thinking high as fuck in the middle of the night. Roaches are the niggas of the projects, like the true niggas of the projects. You can't get rid of them even though you really do try. And that's very black of them, because you can't get rid of us, even if you try. So this poem is called Roaches. It's on page 35. We cover your floors at nightfall. Steal the crumbs left on the counter. Was this not an invitation? A peace offering? A welcome party? Did you not expect a segmented invasion for us to gorge on your refuse? You caught me, broke 6 legs, I grew 6 more. Cut me in half, and my head still found a breath. We multiply faster than you can kill us. Here before your mother named you. Here long after your memory is swallowed by the horde. We, the immortal swarm rising from the darkest depths of your history. Slipping between the floorboards of your conquest, always hiding in plain sight, just beyond your reach. No genocide can hold us back. We no longer flee your son. We are dangerous, disgusting, the scratching that keeps you up at night. Our bones are compost for the scraps tossed at your feet. You think you scare us? Yes, you crushed my head beneath your foot, but there, my brother, look, a cousin. You're surrounded by 1,000 heads, the swish of antenna, biting at your heels, crawling up your neck, in your mouth, gnawing at your skin. We strip the marrow from your bones. No more eating off the ground. We want fresh meat. Tonight, we dine like kings. It's also a metaphor for why I shoplift. I have 2 more poems for you. This one is called Ballad of the Flower Boy. It is on page 42, which is the meaning of life. Wow.
Yes, thank you. Someone read the book.
1. A necklace can be a noose, just like a wallet can be a gun, or a child can be tried as an adult, or a mother can be considered strong for burying her only son. Too many things, the terrible things, just start to make sense when you stop believing in something better. A list of impossible futures. The gun is a rose. Bullets are just thorns, and though a child still bleeds, the streets bring him back home instead of just his memory. His mother is only short of breath and teary when she laughs. The same places we die in keep us alive. We forgive each other. Forgiveness does not forget, but moves more carefully in the next interaction. The gun is still a gun, but it is only a family heirloom. It sits in the back of the closet and gathers dust untouched. We unravel the ropes around our children until they can be vulnerable again. A black boy cries, and I pour out a small ocean for him. Strength is given to the weary. We endure into a celebration. We are loved red and gold. We are halos no one had to die for too. Praise song for the thin black boys with long hair and diamonds for eyes. Praise the lipstick that don't smudge in a fight. Praise the nail that don't break, the cloth that don't rip. Jesus be a secure bobby pin and medium strength edge control. A lock twist and winged eyeliner. God, a black femme queen with gold chain and bone to pink with the lynch mob banging at her door. If we do not name ourselves God, what will America call us if not dead? Somewhere between loving this country and trying to convince it not to kill me, I stopped wearing things that could grow into me and started wearing the clothes I wanted to be buried in. T-shirt, ripped jeans, and apology. But today I refuse to accept this lead-line fashion. I drape myself in fabrics cut from rose petals, dagger blades of grass into my hair. Daisies wrap around my neck until someone sings, "Flower boy, flower god, where did you go?" I need a bouquet for a wedding. I need a wreath for a funeral. I will marry this country. I will die in its mouth. I trust you to make me pretty before I go. And this is the last poem in the book, and kind of one of my favorites because I think this encapsulates what my childhood was like. Like being in the hood, being black, being queer was rough. But there was a magic that comes with like being a kid in the early 2000s that just cannot be replicated. And just, I felt needed to be captured in this book. It's in the fall, all of the magnolia leaves turn brown. So the boys in my neighborhood would rescue our summers from the pavement of September and line the spokes of our bicycles with dreams of motorcycles. We would zip up and down the streets until we could almost hear our engines roaring in our ears. In December, we would race to see who could pedal the fastest. The buzz of leaves abrasing tires until the leaves snapped the illusion of manhood from our eyes. Our motors crumbling back into the boyhood petals beneath our feet. We would pray the street sweeper had not taken the last dry remnants of the sun from beneath the magnolias, naked and unrecognizable in winter. But March would birth new leaves and pink flowers the size of our heads. So each summer was an impatient breath, waiting to exhale the turning of colors that we would gather just to make noise. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, you can grab copies of that book at the back table. It's only $12.
Only $12?
I cannot afford you to not buy this. Because I'm a teaching artist, so the only thing that I do in the summer is read poems and pray that people pay me for them. So please catch the book in the back. I'm also doing like a mini tour across the West Coast. So I will be, if anybody is out that way, God knows this is the only reason I'm in this city. I'm gonna be in Antioch on Saturday. I'm gonna be in Antioch on Saturday. Wonderful people. What?
They have an Outback Steakhouse.
They do have an Outback Steakhouse, and they have a good poetry scene. So come out to Antioch. I'll be in Portland next week if you're in Portland for some god-awful reason. But yeah, I'll be all over. You can follow me on Instagram at Reggie Poetry to see what I'm doing. It's some poems, it's some promotion for events, and a lot of pictures of my dog. So there you go. Thank you so much.
Keep that love going for Reggie, everybody. Ecology of the Hood out now through Foglifter Press. It is $12. Feel free to grab your own copy there in the back. Reggie will be signing copies for you. That has been the show. Everyone, please clap it up once again for PG, for Prophet, for Jazz Sufi, for Nazelah, for yours truly, and everything. That has been the show. The show is over, but the night is still young. Feel free to grab any drinks at the bar, tip your bartender and everything. That has been it for me. Tino out. Have a good night, everybody.